Alright, so in today's video, we're going to go from this to this. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today you see in front of me here is this nice Milwaukee toolbox. I actually picked this up from my pops for Father's Day. So that was, what, about a month ago, but it finally came in. So as you can tell, it's a pretty nice box. It's got a lot of storage, all the bells and whistles you can imagine. It's got these, we added these little battery holders that holds all this stuff, so it's cool. But we're not here about the toolbox. We don't really care about it. What we do need is some sort of light, because this toolbox does not come with one. So if you guys watched our Harbor Freight video, then you know that we just recently discovered these Lumen LED strips, which just wire up directly into 110, and then they're insane. They're like, I think it's this setup here, the 41-inch strips are 6,500 lumens. So it's no joke. You're probably thinking it's overkill, which honestly it is, but it's a very cost-effective way to get a lot of light. And what you're gonna see is that in the way that we're gonna have it set up is that when you pull out all these drawers, you're actually gonna have all the way, or you're gonna have light all the way till right about the ends. The last few inches, you might, it might be a little bit darker, but it's gonna look freaking amazing. So what you need for this project is obviously this light kit. We're gonna have everything in the description, so don't worry about that. We're gonna tidy up the cables with a little bit of sleeve so that it, looks a bit nicer. We have some cable clips. These are just cheap Amazon clips. A little Leviton plug, because we gotta get these, we gotta get the ends from the ballast directly into the plug. And then we're gonna plug it into a little off-on switch that's gonna plug directly over here into our power bar that comes with the toolbox. And then you're gonna need just your handy screwdriver, your Phillips, and then you are gonna need a little bit of soldering. You're gonna need your little kit, because we are gonna have to extend the wires with just some other wire so that we can tuck in the ballast up here at the top and bring it nice and tidy all the way to the switch. So that's the plan, so let's get started. All right, guys, so step number one is we're going to be extending the original wires that come out of the ballast. So I also forgot to mention that if you don't have a soldering iron kit, then wire nuts will do the exact same job. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our 1/8 inch heat shrink set up on our original wires, and then we're gonna match them up. We're gonna do white to yellow and black to purple. Well, pink, purple, same thing. So you're probably thinking, oh, why is it yellow and why is it red? It's just cable. It's what we had in the backyard, and it's gonna work. So we're gonna solder these together, and then we're going to show you how to wire it all up. Alright guys, so step number two is we got this little Alex Tech 1/4 inch cable sleeve. So we're going to go ahead and start inserting the two cables that we just soldered. This is probably going to take a second, but shouldn't be too hard. Alright guys, so we got all the cable sleeve. We went ahead and stripped the ends of the two wires, and then we also we made the little hook, because inside the plug we're going to need to hook it on and then tighten the screw. So let's get into the box and start wiring these things up. All right guys, so we went ahead and we put the ballast right here against the edge of the hatch, and this is all magnetic, by the way, so there's no drilling, no screws, no nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this around. We're gonna put this inside of our clips that we have already pre-installed, and they just kind of snap like that. Like that. We're gonna feed this, and then they kind of just snap. Like the wires, 2 wires is just about the limit. Come on, there it is. This is gonna go behind the shock. Keep in mind we did take the shock off so that we can get the wires behind it. So these just go and they clip. So we keep going, clip, keep going, clip. That one back there is a little tricky. Let's get that one in. Snap. Then we're gonna do a little twisty here. Snap that one. And then the last one on the bottom here, we're gonna get in. There it is. All right, So now we have a little bit of extra wire to play with so we can figure out what the perfect length we need. So we're gonna do, once again, we're gonna get this into the plug, and then our switch, our off and on switch, is gonna be sitting in right here, and like that. So that's the end result we're gonna show you right now. All right guys, so we're on, I think we're on step number 4 at this point. So here's the little plug that we got. So the screw comes out of the center and then it just pops open. So in our case, the big prong is gonna be our yellow wire, which is originally the white wire. The small prong is gonna be the black wire, which in our case is the pink wire. So we made our little J hooks, and we're gonna go ahead and hook these on. It's kind of hard by yourself here, but we got it on like that. And then we're gonna get our Phillips here. And we're gonna cinch it down. Nice and tight. Okay, so that's yellow, that's hooked up. Now let's get the pink wire onto the small prong, like that. Ooh, working in the garage here, the bugs are coming at me. All right, so those are both cinched down. Now let's get them in the channel here on the sides. Okay, and then we're gonna push this down. All right, okay. Now we get the screw. And let's cinch this down. All right, so boom, that's what we're working with now. So this, we're gonna plug directly into our switch. Get this back in the first prong. I had to remove it so I can get a little workspace here. Clip that back down. All right, so it's not perfect because obviously the plug comes out a little bit. So maybe we can add one more plug here or just do some, twisting, and look, it seems to hold on its own. All right, so now let's go ahead and figure out how we're gonna mount, or where we're gonna mount the LED strips. All right guys, so our LED strips happen to be about literally 1 inch too big, the way they come out of the box. But luckily, as we all know, LED strips you can kind of cut in certain sections and they still seem to work. So we're gonna cut off about, I believe it's about 5 inches off, so that we can get these to fit inside of our box. All right, so now let's mount these up and show you guys how amazing these lights are. All right guys, so we got both of our strips cut. So if you cut it at the very end point where it says, this comes out to be 38 inches, which is gonna be, basically, about center for our box. So to keep in mind, labeled on the box, it's gonna be 41 inches is what they label it as, but when you measure it yourself, it comes out to be 43. So our box is supposedly 46 inches side to side, but when you open up the hatch and you measure this to this, where the inside is, it's only 41. So this strip is about 2 inches too big. So we cut off the end, we got a 38-inch strip, and we're gonna be mounting it right here on the edge, nice and flush. So let's go ahead and get this end plugged in. All right, nice and simple, nothing crazy. And then we're gonna line this up with the edge, just right about there. And like I said, it's all magnetic. We can move it over maybe a little bit this way to get it a little bit more centered. But we have this all nice tucked away, so that's about as much as we're gonna get. But that looks pretty damn amazing, if you ask me. All right, so our second strip is gonna be going right here. We thought the best place to put it is right here underneath the lid. Okay, so that's about, somewhat centered. So we're gonna get this all plugged in, okay? Once again, it's a super easy, it needs to go down, line down on this scenario, like that, all right? So that wire is all tucked away nicely. This is all nice and flush. So if we take these tools and just set them there, and we wanna see, right? This just shuts right down, like no problem. It doesn't interfere with anything, and it looks really nice, all right? So now you're all probably wondering how this is gonna look and how bright these things really are. So let's flip the switch, right?
Flip it.
Now let's turn off all the filming lights that we have going on here. Turn off the garage light. And tell me how awesome that looks, even when it's pitch black outside.
Okay, so we pull out a drawer, and like I said, you got your whole drawer, you got light.
even all the way down to the bottom. It gets a little bit worse, obviously, as you go down farther, but you can still see that more than half of the drawer has light. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, wow, those are really bright, and your eyes have got to be getting really tired of staring at the naked LEDs like that. So, what is great is we have these frosted covers, which we're going to cut up, and we're going to slide right over the LED so that your eyes are not killed by the light. So let's set these up and then look at it again. Alright, so we got the little frosted shields that's going to cover the lights. It's really simple. All we got to do is get this, take the light off a little bit, and then it just goes into a little groove here. Then it just slides over the light, like so. Alright. Slide, 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 slide. Okay, and then it all just goes back and magnets right back up to where we have it. Then slide the excess over so that it covers our wire here. And there we go. Okay, so that's one light. Let's knock out the other one real quick. You grab your second piece. So for this one, we cut it a little bit smaller because we got to fit it inside of the box versus on the outside. So once again, let's grab our light down. It'll just hang here. Grab the ends, slide it into the groove, like so. Slide this down, all the way till about the end there. Cover up some wire, and let's get this back sitting right about where we want it. And I think that looks pretty dang good. Alright, so now let's flip the switch again, just to show you that your eyes looking at that is a lot more subtle than staring at the bulbs themselves, or the LEDs themselves. So yeah. So this is what we got. Just a quick, easy, not too difficult light mod that you can install on any, toolbox with a opening hatch like so. Whether it's a Husky, Milwaukee, whatever. Craftsman, whoever has a hatch that has the power on the right side or left side, then you can hook that up and get that going. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know what you think on how it turned out. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.